Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Matuto with Teacher Jamina. We are now in quarter 2 and let's start with lesson 1, expressing one value as a fraction of another given the ratio and vice versa. To start with, let us define first the meaning of ratio. Ratio is a way of comparing two or more quantities having the same units. The quantities may be separate entities or they may be different parts of a whole. Kapag ratio, nagko-compare tayo ng dalawa o higit pa quantities na magkapareho ang units. For example, in a class, we can compare girls and boys. That is an example on how we can show a ratio. Okay, so let's have some examples regarding ratio. Okay, so we can write the ratio in three ways. We have the word form, the column form, and the fraction form. So example number 1, compare the number of circles to triangles. So we have here an illustration, the circles and the triangles. So let's count first the number of circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 circles. And for our triangles, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 triangles. So sabi dyan, we have to compare circles to triangles. So para malaman natin kung alin yung uunahin nating number, magbe-base tayo doon sa instruction or sa given, which is, unahin daw natin is the circle and then followed by the triangles. So in order to write yung ating ratio in word form, you're going to write the number of circles, which is 12. And then we're going to add the word is to show ratio. So 12 is to the number of triangles, which is 6. So this is now your ratio in word form. 12 is to 6. We can also write this in column form. From the word colon, so meron tayong symbol na colon, yung dalawang tuldok, like the time. Okay, so if you write this, copy the numbers. We have 12 and 6. And then the word is to ay papalitan lamang natin ng colon na symbol. But if you will read this, this is also read as 12 is to 6, like doon sa word form. And the last one, we have the fraction form. Siyempre, pag fraction form, we have the numerator and the denominator. So, numerator, siya yung unang number, and then the denominator will be the second number. So, if you are going to write this in fraction form, you will get 12 over 6 if you will read this in fraction. But in ratio, this is read as 12 is to 6. So meaning, kahit anong ways ang iyong gagamitin, word, colon, or fraction form, ang basa pa rin natin is merong word na is to. Okay? So let's have example number 2. Compare the number of triangles to circles. So yung kanina, circles to triangles. So baliktad naman ngayon. So again, in writing a ratio, kailangan nating unahin kung ano yung nasa given. Okay, so let's write this in three ways. So we have the word form, the colon form, and the fraction form. So let's count again the number of circles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And for our triangles, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So same given doon sa kanina nating example 1. So 12 circles and 6 triangles. So again, in word form, unahin muna natin kung ano yung nasa given na direction. So sabi, triangles. So unahin natin si triangle, which is 6. And then, circles, we have 12. So, the answer for word form is 6 is to 12. And then, for our colon form, papalitan lang natin yung word na is to ng colon symbol. So, magiging 6 is to 12. And then, for our fraction form, ganun din. Lalagay natin yung numerator na 6 and then our denominator will be 12. So, this will be 6 is to 12. Okay? Okay, always remember, the order in which the ratio expressed is very important. The order of the terms in a ratio must correspond to the order of objects being compared. So, ito nga yung sinasabi ko, kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod doon sa given mo. For example, dun sa ating example, nauna sabihin si triangle. So, si triangle muna ang ating ilalagay na number. And then, correspond to the another one, si circle. Siya naman yung pangalawa. So, laging tatandaan, it depends on the given. Kahit yan ay naka-word or in illustration. And in the ratio, a part can be compared to its whole. So, hindi lang kung ano yung nakikita natin na given, na exact given, or specific given, we can also compare or write a ratio that can be compared into a whole or kabuuan nito. So, for example, let's have our next example. Compare the total number of shapes to number of triangles. So, dito, tinatanong na is the ratio of total shapes, kabuuan na shape, circles and triangles, to the number of triangles. So, again, ilagay natin sila in three forms or three ways. The word form, the colon form, and the fraction form. So, first, sabi dyan, kung ano nga yung pagkaka-organize ng ating given, yun ang uunahin natin. So, ang una is the total number of shapes. So, bibilangin natin lahat. So, for circle, again, we have 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then, idugtong natin yung sa triangles. From 12, we have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Or 12 circles plus 6 triangles to get the total shapes, that is 18. So, 18 yung ating total shapes. And then again, for our triangles, para dun sa susunod na given, we have 6 triangles. So, kapag ginawa natin siya in word form ng ating ratio, that will be 18 is to 6. So, 18 is the total shapes, and then 6 is the triangles. And then, in colon form, this will be 18 is to 6. And in fraction form, we have 18 is to 6. Okay? So, if it is talking about total, you're going to add all the given. Okay, next. Compare the number of triangles to total number of shapes. So, dito naman, i-compare naman natin o ikukunin natin yung ratio ng triangles muna to the total number of shapes. So, kanina, nabilang na natin yan. We have 6 triangles and total shapes is 18. So, isulat natin ulit into word form, colon form, and fraction form. So, the word form for this, so triangles are 6 and the total shapes is 18. So, 6 is to 18. And then for our colon form, we have there 6 is to 18. And also for fraction form, 6 is to 18. So again, always remember, the given or the answer is based on what is the order in the given. Okay. Another reminder that even if the ratio is in fraction form, you will still say 18 is to 6 or 6 is to 18. Again, kahit yan ay naka-fraction, hindi mo siya babasahin na para nagbabasa tayo ng number na fraction. For example, yung 18 at saka yung 6, hindi mo siya pwedeng basahin na 18 over 6. Kasi binabasa pa din ito sa ratio ng 18:6. At hindi rin pwede na for example, ang nakuha natin is 2 as numerator and 1 as denominator. Hindi natin siya pwedeng basahin na 2 as a whole number. It will be 2:1. Hindi pwedeng maging isang number na lang ang ating ratio. So, mamaya makikita niyo yung aking sinasabi na 2 over 1 or 2:1. Then, another one, ratio should also be in simplest form or lowest form like a fraction. So, dun sa ginawa natin kanina, hindi pa natin siya nalo-lowest term. Kailangan natin for our final answer ay laging naka-lowest term. So, gawin natin yon doon sa ating ilan nakuwang answer kanina. Okay, so, ito nga, ilo-lowest term natin yung ating mga nakuwang answer kanina. So, for our some examples, previously, so, ratio of circles to triangles, so, nakuha natin doon is 12:6. So, in order to get the lowest term, we are going to get the GCF or the greatest common factor, or we can think of a number or the biggest number na pwede nating i-divide sa kanila pareho. So, 12 and 6, if we are going to think of the GCF or the greatest common factor, we are going to divide this by 6. Pwede natin siyang i-divide by 6. Pareho po dapat na 6 yung ating i-divide. So, we have here 12 divided by 6, that is equal to 2. And then 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. Ito yung sinasabi ko, na kahit naka-fraction siya, di ba sa fraction, kapag ang denominator mo is 1, nagiging whole number na siya. Sa ratio ay hindi. Kasi ratio is comparing two or more quantities. Hindi siya pwedeng maging isa na lang. Hindi siya pwedeng maging whole number na lang. Kaya, yung 2 over 1 or read as 2:1 in ratio must be the final answer. Okay, 2:1. Next, ratio of total shapes to triangles. Ang nakuha natin kanina is 18:6. So again, para makuha natin yung lowest term, i-divide natin siya sa kanyang GCF. And the GCF of this is 6. So di-divide natin by 6. 18 divided by 6, that is equal to 3. And then 6 divided by 6 is equal to 1. So the lowest term or the final answer for the ratio 18:6 is 3:1. And then the last one, ratio of triangles to total shapes. So, nakuha natin is 6:18. So, again, kunin ang GCF and that is 6. 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. And then 18 divided by 6 is equal to 3. So, the ratio of triangles to total shapes is 1:3. So, that is how you simplify a ratio. Always remember, your final answer must be in lowest term. Okay, so we are done with the 3 ways in writing a ratio. So now let's proceed with expressing an equivalent ratio. From the word equivalent, equal, magkapareho ng value. So a ratio can be expressed in many equivalent ratio. By how? For example, express the equivalent ratio of 2:4. So, bibigyan natin ng ilang equivalent ratio si 2:4. So, yung 2:4, pwede mo siyang i-write as fraction para mas mabilis kang makahanap ng equivalent ratio. So, in finding an equivalent ratio, it is simple because we are just multiplying a number to our ratio. For example, I'm going to multiply them by 2. to get an equivalent ratio. So we have here 2 times 2 that is equal to 4. 4 times 2 that is equal to 8. And we get 4 is to 8. And 4 is to 8 is an equivalent ratio of 2 is to 4. Okay, another one. We can also get an equivalent ratio of 2 is to 4 by multiplying it by 3. 2 times 3 is equal to 6, and 4 times 3 is equal to 12. An equivalent ratio of 2 is to 4 is 6 is to 12. And another one, we can also multiply it by 4. 2 times 4, that is equal to 8. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. And 8 is to 16 is also an equivalent ratio of 2 is to 4. So we can get many equivalent ratio in a given ratio. So the possible equivalent ratio of 2 is to 4 are 4 is to 8, 6 is to 12, 8 is to 16, and so on. So marami pa siya. So that's all for today regarding our lesson number 1 that talks about ratio and its 3 ways and equivalent ratio. So for more videos, kindly watch our next video regarding our lesson number 2 about ratio and proportion. That's all for today. Thank you and God bless.